All right, guys, so we now have a backend Express API that serves JSON. It takes, tokens and all that stuff, but we have no front end. We have no UI, and that's where React comes in. So this is actually going to be more work than creating the back end. Now, to get these to work together, there's many different things you can do as far as development. What I like to do is use something called Concurrently that will basically allow us to run both the backend server that's running right now on 5,000 and the front end React server. Okay, so it'll basically allow us to run both of those with one command. So I'm going to go ahead and just stop the Express server here and clear this out. And before I do anything, I'm going to install React. So remember, we can use npx, and we're going to say create -react -app. And we want this to be in a folder called client. Okay, so it's going to be in this file structure inside a folder called client. That's where everything that is related to React is going to live. All right, and if you recall, we can run npm start to start the React dev server. However, I don't want to have to run npm run server to run our Express and then open another terminal and then run npm start. So we're going to use concurrently to run both. So we have to go into our root server package.json file. Very important. The client folder has its own package.json, which is related to React, but we want the Express one, or I should say the back end one. And we already have concurrently installed, as you can see. And we're going to go up here and we're going to create a couple more scripts. So one is going to be to run just the client. Now remember, it's npm start, however it's in the client folder. So we can say npm start, but we want a prefix -- prefix with client, which will run it in the client folder. We can also add a client install script if we want. So we'll say client install, and then let's set that to run npm install, but in the client folder. So prefix client. Okay, so now we want to create pretty much the most important script here, and that's the dev script, which is going to run both the client and the server at the same time. So the way that we do that is we use concurrently. So we say concurrently, and then we have to have some quotes, but we need to escape them with backslash. So we're going to do npm run server, which runs the server side, backslash quote, and then another backslash quote, and then npm run client, which will run the client side, backslash quote, and then a final quote. So what it's going to do is run both this and this at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's save that. Now, before we run React, there's an important step we have to take when building a full stack application like this. In our client folder, which is the React app, we want to go to that package.json, which should look like this. And we want to add what's called a proxy, because when we make a request to our back end, I don't want to have to do HTTP localhost 5000 /API / whatever. I just want to be able to say /API whatever. So we can do that by adding a proxy. So we'll go under this browser list option, or whatever the last option is in your file, and add a proxy. And let's say HTTP localhost port 5000. So since we're adding that as a proxy, we shouldn't have to type this in when we make our requests with Axios, which is what we'll be using. All right, so let's close that up. And now let's try our dev script. So we'll go ahead and do npm run dev from the root. Okay, so it's starting the node server, MongoDB connected, and now it's starting the React dev server. Okay, so now we have React running on 3000. We have our Express app running on 5000. In fact, just to show you, we can go ahead and make a request to whatever, get all contacts, and you can see that we're getting the data, meaning the server's up and running. Okay, so now that we have both of these connected, let's start to work on our React front end.